Okay, so we are doing a 1040 tax form for Eric H. Richards. Eric is 19 years old. He's single and a full-time college student. He worked as a clerk and earned a total of $13,200 as reported on the Form W-2. He can be claimed as a dependent on his parents' insurance. He wants to contribute $3 to the presidential election fund, and he was on his parents' health insurance. This one at the top is his W-2. That's the form that his employer sent him, telling him how much money he made, which is in box 1. And in box 2, it tells us how much money he had withheld for federal income tax. The bottom one is a 1099 interest form, and I know it's hard to read, but box 1 down there tells us that Eric earned $10 of interest income that was not taxed. So that is now interest income. If you want to tear that front page off so that you can put stuff side by side, that's fine. I just need it stapled back together when you turn it in. So let's go through this box by box on our 1040. So on that next page, it is going to look like this. Right? He is single, so put an X in there. His first name is Eric H. Last name, go to the next box, Richards. And then you can get his social security number from his W-2. Social security number is 059. It's on his, underneath where it has State Farm's address in box D on the W-2. 059003212. And then we're going to put his address, which we see in box E of the W-2. And we don't abbreviate on here. 514 10th Street, Bryan, Illinois, 54612. And it wants to know, or it tells us in that little paragraph, that he wants to contribute $3 to the presidential election campaign fund. So I'm going to check that box that says you. So what that means is that $3 is going to the presidential election campaign. It does not go towards a certain candidate. It just goes into a general fund. There is no tax benefit of donating $3 to this. It's just an easy way for you to donate if you feel so inclined. Can someone claim Eric as a dependent? Yes. He can be claimed as a dependent on his parents' return. So I want to check that box. Was Eric born before 1955? Is he blind? No. Does he have any children? No. All right, are we okay right now? Does that make sense? Now we're going to go down to box 1. Box 1 on the 1040 wants to know his wages, salaries, and tips from his W-2. Look at box 1 on the W-2. How much money did Eric earn? $13,200. You are not, for the examples that we're doing in class, you will not have anything in 2A through 5A. We don't have any tax exempt interest, we don't have any dividends, IRA distributions, pensions, and annuities, and we did not receive any Social Security benefits. I will not give you an example where you would put anything in this column. However, at the bottom, we do have a 1099. We had an account, like a savings account, this is from Bryan National Bank, where we earned $10 in interest. If you have a 1099, that interest that you earned that has not been taxed is going to go on line 2B. So in line 2B, we will put $10. Are you there? You good? Yes.
Did we put anything for dependents?
No, he doesn't have any children.
Oh, okay.
We don't have any dividends. There's nothing in the rest of these. We're not doing anything with box 6. We're not doing anything with box 7. So we go down to line 7B, and this is where we add up how much money we earned that we have to pay interest on. So we add up our wages plus our interest earned, and we owe taxes on a total of $13,210. What are you confused about?
Where's the 13,000?
It's on box 1 of his W-2. $13,200 is what he made in wages, salaries, and tips.
Oh,
Box
okay.
1 says wages, tips, and other compensation on his W-2.
Okay.
We don't have any adjustments from Schedule 1. So we don't have anything in 8A. 8B is our adjusted gross income, which is just going to be the same as our taxable or our total income. So 7B and 8B are going to be the same for us with the examples that we will be using. All right, now here's where we gotta, I'll wait till you have all this. We need to look at the next page in your packet, which is a standard deduction form. And it says draft on it because at this point the government has not officially said that this is the form that we are using, but it likely will be. So use this worksheet. At the bottom, down here, we're not using the top part, we're just using the bottom part right now. Do any of the situations in number 1 apply? No. So we can put 0 on line 1. Line 2. Did Eric earn more than $750?
Yes.
Yes. So what do we have to do? Add $350 to his earned income. So 350 plus that $13,210 that he earned. So his earned income was $13,210, and it is telling us to add $350. So that number is $13,560 on line 2. What is his filing status in line 3?
Single.
Single, so on line 3 we put $12,200. A tells us to enter the smaller of line 2 or line 3. Which number is smaller? 12,200. He was not born before July 2nd, 1955, or blind, so we'll leave that blank. So on line 4C, we'll put 12,200. And that is the number that we are going to put on form 1040, line 9. It might not be a bad idea to write notes to yourself about where this stuff is coming from. Like next to line 9 over here in the margin, you might want to write a little note to yourself to look at the standard deduction worksheet. Because I can tell you that you will do examples where you will put a number on line 9 that is lower than the 12,200. Okay? There will be nothing on line 10. On line 11, we add lines 9 and 10, and we will put that $12,200 from the standard deduction on line 11A. Now let's read line 11B. Taxable income. Subtract line 11A from line 8B. So 11A is 12,200. 8B is 13,210. So I'm going to subtract 12,200 from 13,210. $1,010 is what I am going to write on line 11B. $1,010 is going on line 11B. Are we okay? Yeah? All right. Flip to the back of your 1040. All right, this requires a link, and the link is in Google Classroom. So write yourself a note in the margin of 12A that you need to go to the tax tables for this. And those tax tables are posted in Google Classroom. It's called 1040 tax tables. You will go to this website. Again, this is another draft. It hasn't been officially adopted by the government yet. And that number that you had on 11B, you need to go find that in here. So $1,010 would be right here in this range. We are single, so it would be $101. So go back to your 1040, and on line 12A, you'll write 101. Did you see where I got that number? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're going to go to the tax table and write that note for yourself. Go to tax table and look up the number from line 11B. So I don't have anything from Schedule 2, line 3. We're not doing any complex examples. So that same number from 12A is going to go on line 12B. Do we have any tax credits for having children? No. We don't have any Schedule 3. All right, subtract line 13B, which is 0, from line 7, and line 13, and enter the total. We don't have any of that. So our line 14 is just going to be that 101. 14 and 15, this is your total tax. So theoretically, this is all that Eric H. Richards would have been responsible for paying in taxes based upon his income. Now we need to look at what did he really pay though. So on line 17, it wants us to go to his W-2 and look at how much federal income tax he had withheld. That is on line 2 of his W-2. How much federal income tax did Eric have withheld? $145. He did not have anything withheld on his 1099 where he earned $10. So on box 17, we'll just write $145. We will not have anything in boxes 18A through E. So on line 19, we are adding line 17 and 18. And what are we going to put in box 19?
145.
145. So, now, if line 19 is more than line 16, is line 19 more than line 16? Yes. So we're going to subtract line 16 from line 19, which is 44. And this is the amount that we overpaid. So that means that Eric H. Richards is going to get a $44 refund. That's how much money he overpaid. How much of that do you want refunded to you? I'd probably like all of it. So I'm going to put 44 on line 21A as well. If not, the government will go ahead and keep it. And then you could ask them to use it for next year's taxes in case you have to pay it. I prefer to have my money in my pocket, so I'm going to request that they send that to me. Then you have to sign your name. It will not be accepted unless you sign here. So sign Eric H. Richards' name, date it, and then his occupation is a student/clerk. Do we have any questions about our first our first 1040? Clerk. Does that all make some sense? Was it easier than you expected? Do you all have it so I can refresh it and we can do another example? I can clear this? All right. We are going to do our next one. So go ahead and fill out the personal information for Lisa M. Sample. Go ahead and read the little exercise and fill out her personal information at the top. Lisa is single, So check the box that says single. Make sure to put her social security number in because that's how the government identifies her. She is not contributing to the presidential election campaign, so you do not need to put anything in those boxes. And her parents do claim her as a dependent, so I'll check that box. All right, so let's look. What number are you going to put in line 1 on the 1040? Huh? $5,950, yes. Does Lisa have any taxable income to go in box 2B? That's gonna come from that interest income statement. Yes, how much? How much interest income does she have? $117. Oh, hey guys, fun fact. Turn over, and she has 2 jobs, my friends. Okay, so Lisa earned $5,950 with her job at the garden center, plus $2,235 at McDonald's. So her total wages for box 1 is $8,185. Okay? $8,185 because we added up her income from the garden center and her income from McDonald's. Okay. On line 7B, we are going to add up her income from her job plus the income from her interest. So Lisa's total income on line 7B is $8,302. Subtract line 8A from 7B. We don't have anything in 8A, so there's nothing there. What?
8,782.
8,302.
Oh.
So 8B is going to be the same, 8,302, because we are not making any adjustments to our income. Now what do I do? I'm stuck. Where do I go? Yes, now I have to go to that standard deduction page. What will I put on line 1?
0.
Good job. What do I put on line 2?
Yes.
Okay. She earned more than $750. So we have to take her income of the $8,302 and add $350 to it. So on line 2, we'll put $8,652. That's what's going to go on line 2 of the standard deduction form. What about line 3? What are we putting there?
12,200.
Good. 12,200 is what we put on line 3. Which is smaller, line 2 or line 3? So $8,652. We don't have anything on line 4B. So line 4C is going to be the same as 4A, $8,652. That is the number that we are going to transfer over. The smaller lines 2 and 3 is what goes on 4A. So that's that $8,652. So $8,652 is what I'm going to put on line 9 and line 10. So Lisa did not make enough to take the full standard deduction. Her standard deduction based on her income is that $8,652. Okay? Subtract line 11A from line 8B. What is that? It's a negative, so we'll put 0 on line 11B. Now what do I do? Yep, now I gotta go to the tax table. And what am I gonna look up on that tax table? What number am I looking for? So what is her tax then? 0. She did not make enough money to even have to pay taxes. So on line 12A and 12B, we're going to put 0. This should be a red flag to you right now that she should get every dollar back that she paid in. So when you look at her W-2 and see how much money she paid in, if your total refund is not that total amount when you did something wrong. Because this number on line 12A and 12B tells us that she did not make enough money to pay taxes. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we're going to skip down. Subtract line, on line 14 it says subtract line 13B from 12B. So on line 14 we're going to have 0 because we don't have any child tax credits. Do we have any other taxes for line 15? Do we have any self-employment taxes or anything? No. Add lines 14 and 15. This is our total tax. What is that total?
0.
All right. Now go to your W-2. How much tax did Lisa have withheld? Federal income tax. How much did she have withheld? $267 from McDonald's. Remember, Lisa had 2 jobs. $267 plus the $435 from the garden center. Lisa paid in $702 in taxes. We're not going to have anything in 18A through 18D. So 18E is just going to be 0. Add line 17 and 18. This is how much total Lisa paid in taxes. How much is that? $702. If line 19 is more than line 16, is line 19 more than line 16? Yep. So subtract line 16, which is 0, from line 19, and how much should we overpay? $702. How much of that do you think she wants back?
All of it.
So $702. Then you will scroll down, you will sign, date, and list your occupation as a florist. And Lisa is on her way to a $702 refund. And you survived doing your first two 1040s, guys.